Have you ever wondered if there's a way to take back control of your money, free from banks, inflation, and middlemen? What if the answer has been right in front of you all along? Keep watching, because this video will finally make Bitcoin make sense and show you 7 reasons why it's so important for your financial future. Hey everyone! Welcome to the winning journey. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been making waves all over the world: Bitcoin. Now, you might have heard of it, especially now that it has reached about $100,000 worth, but why is it becoming such a big deal? What makes it so different from traditional money? And why are more and more people using it every day? Well, in this video, we're going to break it all down for you, step by step in simple terms, so you can understand why Bitcoin could totally change the way we think about money. Let's get started. What is Bitcoin and why is it so special? First things first, what exactly is Bitcoin? In simple terms, Bitcoin is a digital currency, meaning it's a type of money that only exists online. But here's the thing. Unlike the money we're used to, like dollars or euros, Bitcoin doesn't rely on any government or bank to manage it. It's decentralized. This means no one can control it, and it works on a system where everyone is part of the process. This system is called the blockchain, and it's a big reason why Bitcoin is so special. Why does this matter? Well, traditionally, if you want to send money or make a transaction, you need to go through a bank or some other financial institution. They take time, they charge fees, and sometimes they even block transactions or censor them. With Bitcoin, you don't need banks or governments. It's all peer-to-peer, which means transactions happen directly between people, with no middlemen. This gives you more freedom and more control over your money, and makes the whole system way more transparent and secure. Bitcoin as protection against inflation. Another major reason why Bitcoin is getting so much attention is because of inflation. Inflation is when the value of money goes down over time. This happens when governments print more money, and as a result, things get more expensive. Think about it. If you have money sitting in a bank account, you're losing value every year because inflation eats away at it. But here's where Bitcoin stands out. It has built-in protection against inflation. Bitcoin has a fixed supply. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoins. This limited supply means that, over time, Bitcoin can't be devalued like traditional currencies can. Imagine if there was a gold mine, and suddenly they found more gold. Gold's value would drop. With Bitcoin, that can't happen because its supply is capped. This makes it a great hedge against inflation, and for many, it's seen as a store of value. In other words, Bitcoin can hold its value better than a lot of traditional currencies, especially in times of economic uncertainty. Accessibility for everyone, everywhere. One of the coolest things about Bitcoin is how it's changing the game for people who don't have access to traditional banking. Did you know that over 2 billion people around the world don't have access to a bank account? That's a lot of people. But with Bitcoin, these people can now participate in the global economy. How? All they need is a smartphone or access to the internet. Bitcoin allows anyone to send and receive money, regardless of where they are. This is huge for people in countries where the banking system is weak or corrupt, or for people who simply don't have the option of opening a bank account. Bitcoin opens up financial opportunities for those who have been left out of the traditional banking system, giving them a way to save, invest, and transfer money anywhere in the world, with no need for banks. The power of blockchain technology. Now, let's talk about something that's often overlooked: the technology behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin is powered by blockchain, and that's what makes it really revolutionary. Blockchain is basically a giant digital ledger that records all Bitcoin transactions. But here's the kicker. It's decentralized, meaning no single person or organization controls it. Every transaction is verified by a network of computers across the world. This makes it incredibly secure and transparent. Everything is recorded, and you can track transactions anytime you want. Blockchain doesn't just stop with Bitcoin. It's being used for all kinds of things like tracking supply chains, securing medical records, and even running smart contracts. Basically, agreements that execute automatically when certain conditions are met. The possibilities with blockchain are endless, and Bitcoin was just the first big project to show the world how it works. Bitcoin as a digital gold. A lot of people call Bitcoin digital gold, and for a good reason. Just like gold, Bitcoin is considered a store of value. However, there are a few key differences that make Bitcoin stand out as a better option for the digital age. For one, Bitcoin is much easier to transfer than gold. You can send Bitcoin anywhere in the world within minutes, without worrying about carrying or storing physical gold. Plus, Bitcoin's supply is fixed, so unlike gold, which we can continue to mine, Bitcoin's value can only increase if demand rises. Bitcoin also has the added benefit of being highly divisible. You can buy as little as a fraction of a Bitcoin, making it more accessible to people who don't have enough money to buy a whole Bitcoin. This makes it a great way for people to invest in something with the potential for long-term growth. Fast and efficient transactions. Another reason why Bitcoin is so popular is that it's fast and efficient. Traditional banking systems take time to process payments, especially international ones. It can take days to transfer money from one country to another, and it often involves hefty fees. With Bitcoin, transactions happen almost instantly, and they're much cheaper because there are no middlemen involved. This is especially important for people who need to send money across borders, like migrant workers sending money back home. With Bitcoin, they don't need to worry about bank fees or long waiting times. It's quick, easy, and cost-effective. You might be thinking, okay, Bitcoin sounds cool, but is it actually being used by real businesses? The answer is yes, and it's growing fast. Big companies like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and even payment companies like PayPal and Square have started accepting Bitcoin. Institutional investors are also jumping in, seeing Bitcoin as a solid investment with huge potential. As more companies and organizations accept Bitcoin and blockchain technology, it becomes more mainstream and easier for everyone to use. It's not just for tech enthusiasts anymore. Bitcoin is becoming a legitimate asset class, and the financial world is starting to recognize it as such. Bitcoin has sparked strong opinions from influential figures worldwide, ranging from revolutionary enthusiasm to deep skepticism. Tech visionary Roger Ver, often referred to as Bitcoin Jesus, was an early investor and outspoken advocate of Bitcoin, emphasizing its potential to revolutionize financial systems. He calls Bitcoin the most important invention in the history of the world since the internet, highlighting its transformative power. Similarly, Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft and one of the world's most renowned technologists, described Bitcoin as a technological tour de force, acknowledging its innovative blockchain foundation. Peter Thiel, a co-founder of PayPal and a leading venture capitalist, sees Bitcoin as the beginning of something great, a currency without a government, underlining its decentralization as a pivotal advancement in global finance. On the flip side, Bitcoin has its share of critics. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history and often called the Oracle of Omaha, dismisses Bitcoin as a mirage and a joke, arguing it lacks intrinsic value compared to traditional assets like stocks or commodities. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, one of the largest and most influential financial institutions, has labeled Bitcoin a fraud, reflecting the skepticism within traditional banking circles about its legitimacy and long-term viability. These critical voices highlight the challenges Bitcoin faces in gaining widespread acceptance among established financial elites. Despite the criticism, transformative perspectives on Bitcoin remain compelling. Rick Falkvinge, the founder of the Pirate Party and a prominent advocate for digital rights, famously predicted that Bitcoin will do to banks what email did to the postal industry, underscoring its potential to disrupt traditional financial systems. Jack Dorsey, co-founder and former CEO of both Twitter and Square, now Block, is one of Bitcoin's most passionate proponents. He views Bitcoin as the most important thing to work on in my lifetime, reflecting his belief in its capacity to reshape the global economy. Even Bitcoin's enigmatic creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, whose identity remains a mystery, contributed to the conversation with a now iconic remark. "If you don't believe it or don't get it, I'm sorry, I don't have time to convince you." This quote encapsulates the essence of Bitcoin, a groundbreaking concept that requires a shift in thinking to fully grasp. Bitcoin's impact is undeniably profound, continuing to polarize opinions while shaping the future of money. Recap. However, here is an easy recap. The 7 reasons why Bitcoin becomes so important not only in your financial life but in the financial life of all of us. Decentralization. Unlike traditional money controlled by banks or governments, Bitcoin is completely decentralized. Protection against inflation. With a fixed supply of only 21 million coins, Bitcoin is immune to inflation caused by excessive money printing. Financial accessibility for everyone. Over 2 billion people globally lack access to traditional banking. Blockchain technology. The backbone of Bitcoin, blockchain, is a transparent and tamper-proof digital ledger. It ensures security, transparency, and trust. Digital gold. Bitcoin is often referred to as digital gold, accessible to anyone, making it a strong option for long-term investment. Fast and cost-effective transactions. Say goodbye to long waits and hefty fees for sending money across borders. Growing mainstream adoption. Major companies like Tesla and PayPal are embracing Bitcoin, and institutional investors are treating it as a serious asset. The future of Bitcoin. So, what does all this mean for the future? Well, Bitcoin is still in its early stages, but it's already making a massive impact. It's changing the way we think about money, and it's giving people more control over their financial future. Whether it's offering protection against inflation, giving unbanked people access to financial services, or providing an alternative investment to traditional assets, Bitcoin is here to stay. Of course, there are still challenges ahead. Governments and regulators are still figuring out how to handle Bitcoin, and there's a lot of uncertainty around how it'll evolve. But one thing is clear, its influence is only going to grow. As a result, if you're not already learning about Bitcoin, now's the time. Whether you're interested in investing or just curious about how it all works, understanding Bitcoin is becoming more important than ever. So Bitcoin is such a game changer. But here's the thing. Bitcoin isn't the only buzzworthy topic in the world of crypto. Have you heard about meme coins? Yep, those quirky, internet-inspired coins that are turning everyday people into millionaires overnight. Curious about what they are and how they're doing it? And don't worry, we've got you covered. Stick around for the next video because maybe it's exactly what you've been looking for.